Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the Ned Rig, which is perhaps my favorite fall finesse technique. I really like the Ned Rig for a couple of reasons. And the first is that with bass having been pressured with large lures and large swim baits and that kind of thing all summer, uh, magnum worms and big flukes and, creature baits and chatter baits and all this kind of stuff, they can be wary of anything large. And as the water temperature drops into the 70s and into the 60s in the fall, it's going to slow the bass down a good bit too. So they're just not going to be willing to chase after as large a prey, especially not if it's moving fast, right? So what the Ned Rig is nothing complicated. It's just a really small jig head, maybe a sixth of an ounce or a tenth of an ounce, with a small soft plastic trailer like this curly tail grub. Now it doesn't have to be a curly tail grub. It can be a small Senko, a fluke, one of the a creature bait that's really small like a rage tail craw. It can be something like that, but you're looking for a soft plastic trailer in the 2, 3, 4 inch neighborhood, but not much larger than that. You might be able to throw like a 5 or 6 inch worm, but I'd probably steer clear of that. Now the way the Ned Rig works is that tiny jig head lets your soft plastic flutter very, very, very slowly to the bottom. And then it keeps it there with that head down, tail up orientation that works so well for attracting strikes. Now the secret to the Ned Rig is that it's a high visibility technique. You can't throw this into weeds and expect bass to see it. It needs to be out in the open where they can really key in on it, right? So if you use this in the fall in transition zones where the bass are basically doing the reverse of what they did in the spring, that is, in the spring they would move from deeper water, transitioning to shallower water to spawn. In the fall, they're moving off the shallows and moving deeper. You find those transition points like the edge of a drop off or the edge of a point where you can work this Ned Rig out in the open where the bass are going to be, and you will catch fish. I guarantee you that. Now, your choice of a trailer is going to depend on what is in the water you're fishing, right? So if you're fishing a pond where there's abundant crawfish, throwing a rage tail craw is a great idea. So you want to match the hatch as much as possible because it is a high visibility technique. The bass are going to see this at a distance, key in on it, and come in and take a close look. If you move your Ned Rig too aggressively or too quickly, it might well spook them off. So one of the secrets of successful Ned Rig fishing is to go very slow. You can drag that Ned Rig ever so slowly across the bottom, keeping it pinned there and that head down, tail up orientation. Or you can pop it off the bottom and let it flutter back down. You can even give it a series of hops and let it flutter and stop, flutter and stop. But whatever you do, it needs to be slow. You can't go too slow. If you pick the right kind of trailer, the smallest jig head that you can cast effectively, and you find those transitional spots that are attractive to bass, your Ned Rig will absolutely slay bass this fall. I'd love to hear what you think about this, and if you give a Ned Rig a try this fall, I'd love to hear how it works for you. I'll be talking to you soon.